Alright guys, welcome back. We got another great week of Overwatch action coming at you. Overwatch League Stage 3, Week 2. So, got Thursday, Friday. We've had some very interesting matchups the first couple weeks, or the first week. We've had some teams that have been a lot worse than expected, some that have been better. Um, and without further ado, we're going to look at the matches for today and tomorrow and see how we think they're going to turn off. So, Houston got to play New York last week. Now they get to play San Francisco this week. So, it's a rough start for them. They're at a 9-game losing streak right now. I think it reaches 10. I like San Francisco here. They looked probably their most vulnerable in a long time last week against Atlanta, who's a better team than Houston, and Atlanta was not able to take it. Shock were able to clutch up in map number 5. So I don't give Houston I don't give them a great chance here. On Nepal, that's not a great map for Houston. If they were on something like Busan, I would probably be willing to give Houston the first map because they've looked really good on first maps so far the last couple of weeks. But on Nepal, I don't like their chances. I think San Francisco is going to take this one. I think they're going to take it 4-0. I'm looking at like Horizon Lure Colony, Eichenwald, and then Havana. Havana will be interesting. And I think for Houston, you're just looking at, again, just constant improvement. They looked a lot better last time out. And I think that with that newfound maybe momentum, I mean, it sucks that they lost. They were really close to upsetting a great team. But you got to be like, okay, we played really well. We couldn't pull it out, but that's a great moving block or building block going forward. And we can really take it into the next match. And if they can take a map here, I think you're going to be feeling great. They just want to keep tightening up their play, making sure their communication is crisp, getting one or two, however many you want to use, lineups fully together, and then start to make your run next week because I don't see them winning this one. Like I said, I got San Francisco in a 4-0. They looked pretty sloppy against Atlanta. I think they're going to come out really tight, and they're not going to make too many mistakes, and they're going to roll to an easy victory and keep buffing their map differential. Next, we got a really interesting one. Shanghai Dragons and Atlanta Reign. In my opinion, these are two top 10 teams right now. I think Shanghai's playing better. I'd put them right about top 5, whereas Atlanta, I'd put them probably at number 10. So, honestly, this is a tough one. I like Shanghai. Like I said, I have them ranked a bit higher in the power rankings right now. I think that they're really getting on a hot streak. And Atlanta might have a little bit of a letdown after having such a close, emotional, near upset last week. We'll see how well the coaching staff prepared them. But I think that Atlanta does have a great coaching staff, and because of that, I'm going to say this one goes to 5. I'm hoping for a really interesting match here because it should be. I mean, these are, like I said, these are two really good teams right now. Atlanta, especially in the standings, they're towards like the edge of playoff territory, so they really need to win as many matches as they can. So I think both these teams come out and play really well. I would say I would give Atlanta the edge on maps 1 and probably 4. I think Shanghai's really been good at Numbani, and I like them on 2CP as well. So I think they'll take those two. Like I said, I think it goes down to the wire, but in the end, Shanghai is a bit better of a team right now, and I think that that gives them the edge. Particularly, I think that their main tank play has been a little bit more tight. I give Gamsu an edge over Pokpo. Pokpo is very aggressive, and Gamsu has been very good against aggressive main tanks so far this year. So I think that he will get an edge there, and that will help propel Shanghai to victory. Next, we got Dallas Fuel. They went 1-1 last week, taking on Chengdu, who went 0-2. This is incredibly important for Chengdu. They're a little bit below Atlanta in the standings, so every match is important to them. Looking at, we got Ilios, Paris, Hollywood, and Dorado. So I think that this map pool, I give Dallas a pretty sizable edge here, but I think the map pool is interesting because Chengdu has been known to run some wacky stuff on map one. Ilios is a little bit of a tough one at times for Dallas. So I think we have a match that could go either way. I think it's going to be decided in the first two maps. If Chengdu can't at least go into the half like up 1-0 with like a win and a tie, I mean, if Dallas is winning or even if they're tied at halftime, I think Dallas runs away with it in the second half, and I do think that's what'll happen. I think Chengdu wins map one, two is back close, super back and forth, but I got Dallas edging it out. I could see that one being a draw as well, though. You got Dallas, who is one of not the first practitioner of it, but they're one of the first teams to run that bunker comp with the Bastion. They're one of the better teams at running it for defense. Chengdu is known to run their multiple DPS, whether it's like 2, 3, or sometimes even 4. And we'll see how that matchup goes. I think Chengdu will eventually break through in that, but it'll all come down to will either team be able to snowball on second point? That's generally one of the biggest factors going into 2CP maps, and I think that it'll go back and forth, but Dallas will just eke it out. And then maps 3 and 4, like I said, I think they'll just go straight up goats, and Dallas will just kind of roll over Chengdu. No pun intended with Amang, the Hammond god himself. But I think that Dallas really takes care of business here. They had a rough go against Gladiators early on, but they did bounce back and win their second match 3-0. And I think that they're going to be trying to win as many maps as possible to try to work their way up in the standings. So I got Dallas 3-1. So Hangzhou playing Vancouver. Hangzhou, people are really high on. I've seen them as high as 4 on the power rankings. Vancouver is number 2 right now in most people's eyes. Some people still have them at number 1. Vancouver is coming off a great victory against a really good team in the Gladiators. Hangzhou is also on a hot streak. The 2 times these teams have matched up before, Vancouver has won, or the one time I believe, Vancouver won quite easily. Looking at the map pool, this might surprise some people. I got Vancouver taking it 4-0. I think this is a bad map pool for Hangzhou. Vancouver is good on at least, especially the first couple maps. They've been really good on. Hangzhou has had good maps, but also really bad maps for Oasis. I don't think they're consistent enough to snag one off of Vancouver yet. And we'll also see if I think Hangzhou, if they're gonna have a chance, they need to run a DPS comp on map 1 and 3. You can run some wacky stuff, especially first point attack and defense on Numbani. Don't just opt into the Goats 3-3 against Vancouver. We saw what happened last time. Gladiators are a top tier team, and they just couldn't beat Vancouver in the 3-3. They are too good at it. The only team in the league who can beat Vancouver in 3-3 is Shock. I don't know how many times I've said this. They're the only team in the league that can beat them in 3-3 mirror comp. Enough to win a series against them. So we will see what Hangzhou does. Hopefully they think the same way and they pull out some wacky stuff and really give Vancouver trouble. But I think that it's a 4-0. I like Vancouver here. I don't think Hangzhou's quite ready to start beating them, or at least taking multiple maps off them. So I got Vancouver going to 17-0. Then we got Paris Eternal taking on New York Excel. Both of these teams went 2-0 last week. Paris has pretty much salvaged their season, I would say. They were looking like they were in danger of falling to like the bottom 3 of the league, even like bottom 3-4. But they've won their last 2. They're back in the thick of the playoff hunt. But they got a tough draw with New York. Nepal, Volskaya, Numbani, Dorado. I give the edge to Vancouver. I give the edge to New York here. I think that it's not super close. Paris is very good at Paris. They don't get that map. I think that Nepal has been one that New York has generally liked in the past, and Paris has struggled a bit on the map ones. I think that it becomes 2-0 very quick. And then after that, I don't think Paris can really bounce back. I think that they're going to be pretty down in the dumps after losing two maps pretty easily. And New York has always been good at putting their foot down on the throat of their opponents when they get an early lead. I think this is no different. I'm calling another 4-0 here. This will be a true test, though. Paris has looked better in week one, but they didn't beat the best teams in the league. This will be their true test. If they can at least make it very close against New York, then I think that they're definitely a playoff contender going forward, or at least a play-in contender. So, second match of Friday, you got Toronto Defiant taking on London Spitfire. So, London had a pretty miserable showing against the New York Excel after stomping Boston. So, they're coming off of a 1-1 split. I give London a significant edge in this one. If there's a map that Toronto's going to take, it's going to be map 1. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they do in a very close, probably 99-99 most times. I say they take map 1 2-1. And then after that, it's pretty much all London. London's got better goats. They've been working together for a lot longer. Toronto has a new off tank in Gods and main tank in Shark playing the last two times out. So I think that they're going to continue to go through a little bit of their growing pains and learning to play with that Korean roster. And because of that, London kind of runs away with the second half of the series and takes it 3-1. This one could also definitely be a 4-0, but I like Toronto on Elios last time I saw him, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say they grab that map. Then we got one that's, I think this is pretty much a must-win for both teams, especially for Houston because their record's in a lot worse shape. But Boston's off to an 0-2 start. This stage, Houston will very likely be off to an 0-2 start at the time of this match. They'll be 1-1 or 0-2, depending on how their shock match goes. So, looking at the maps, I think this one's close. Like I said, we're gonna see. This is for me, this is a make or break for Boston. Like if they come out and lose to Houston and it's not even that close, I mean they'll be 7-10. They'll still be in the play-in hunt, but I just don't see how they bounce back from that. It'll be interesting to see if Kelix is back in. Alamo has been playing the last couple maps on Lucio, the last couple matches, and those did not go well. It's hard to have faith in either of these teams right now. I'm going to go upset, though. I'm going to say Houston. I think they go to 5. Houston realizes, all right, at this point, we're 3-13. This is basically our last shot. We need to win a lot of our matches going forward this stage and next. If we want to even give ourselves a run, give ourselves a chance for the playoffs. And I think that they do so. They finally win a map 5. They've been horrible in map 5s this year and last year, but I think they finally conquer it. They've been looking better. Boston has been struggling. Somehow they pull through and take it 3-2. And then our final match for Friday, we got LA Gladiators taking on Philadelphia Fusion. So Philly, they are looking pretty rough. They started out stage 1, 5-2. Since then, they are 3-5. They're in danger of falling to 500 and being towards the back end of that playoff race. I think there's a very good chance they find themselves in the play-in tournament. Gladiators went 1-1. They lost to the Titans, which is no shame in that, really. Looking at Oasis, Volskaya, Eichenwald, and Dorado. If there's a map Philly takes, I think it's 1 or 4. But I watched their last match. I watched the Gladiators' last 2 matches. And I don't have any faith in Philadelphia to win a match here, or to win a map here. I really don't. Until I see them look significantly improved, I'm going to pick against them a lot. Gladiators are still a very good team. I got them at 5th right now in terms of best teams. I don't even have Philly in the top 10. I don't even think it's close. So I think Gladiators roll to the victory. Putting in Surefour at Brigida over Hydration has already helped them, I think, in a significant way the last couple of matches. He's been getting caught out a lot less. As Brigida, your positioning is of the utmost importance, and I think that Surefour's is a bit better. I think his communication is probably a bit better as well. Um, so yeah, I got LA winning this one pretty easily. So those are the first half matches for this week. In a couple days, we'll be coming back with the matches on Saturday and Sunday. We got some very interesting matchups there. I'm looking at Guangzhou, LA Valiant, Shock Dynasty, Seoul Atlanta, another rematch between Dallas and Vancouver. It should be a great day, great couple days of matches. So let me know what you guys think below. You got any crazy upsets going these next couple days? Good luck to your teams when they are playing. Thank you so very much for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful couple of days, and then we'll see you in the next one.